And so in the last 30 days, your account has generated about $13,000. And so what would that be as a percentage? Do you know if
The
you
trading fees all haven't come out yet, but the
about 8.6% or so, almost 9% in that
yeah,
kind of 3 week period?
yeah.
Tell me a little bit about yourself. What's your professional background?
I studied counseling psychology, and I did that for a good 10 years, and then I got burnt out around 2020, started looking for something else. I bought a franchise in a painting business and realized at some point that I just bought myself a job. And, and so I don't know if I can, I guess I consider myself an entrepreneur. I have that mindset. And running a counseling business was my kind of like entry into that. Running a sole proprietor, single member LLC kind of deal of small practice was very simple. Getting into a painting business was very different. So I definitely, there was a learning curve and it's successful, but it's not really what I want long term. Being a contractor now, it's eating up all my time.
Mm.
So I'm just looking for ways to buy my time back. So this was, one way to do that, just buy myself some time. And we're in a good place like family wise, so I just don't want to spend all my time working. That just that life is just no good. Answering calls after dinner and stuff like that is just
Yeah.
difficult customers. So yeah, that this is part of my strategy to, get out of that.
Free up some more
Yeah.
time. So you're the owner and the operator of this painting business.
Yeah, so I do customer service and deal with all the difficult people situations and kind of run the business. But then I use a group of subs to do the painting. Yeah.
Understood. And for you, then the franchise has been running since 2020, or that's when you got it?
20 the end of 2019. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So you
Yeah.
got burnt out in the psychology realm and then transitioned into being a business owner. You transition from being an employee, for 40 hours a week to, basically working for yourself for like 100 hours a week or so.
Yeah, I mean it's at the point where it could scale, but that involves hiring people, and I'm just not really sure that's the path for me. I mean, I don't really want to be there's no point in that business at which like if you hire somebody, it's less work for you. It's
Uh,
always going to be the same amount of work. I mean, maybe that's not necessarily true, but
how could you
um,
replace how could you replace yourself?
it is possible. I can hire an estimator, I can hire a project manager, and that would be the next step. But yeah, I've had some bad experiences hiring people,
Mm,
and it's not easy. But
yeah.
so I'll be deciding that in the next few weeks. Like, yeah, that would be the next step in the business for sure.
Yeah, so one thing that I've learned is like, okay, well, so what are the tasks that can be done by somebody else with like that would free up a lot of my time? So the one thing that I at first when I started, being an entrepreneur or a business owner was I hired an assistant, right? So that assistant was able to do all the admin things that took up the tedious time, right? The things that
Mhm.
anyone can actually do.
Mhm.
It's just data entry. It's just kind of scheduling. It's just things that maybe don't have anything directly to do with client interaction, but still have to be
Mhm.
done, right? So even
Right,
even perhaps bookkeeping or those type of things. So
right.
the first thing, in the interest, like what's your number one goal, right? You find your solvable problem, and it's the time that you want back. And so, okay, audit your time. What exactly is taking up the most time? Okay, great. What is the most replaceable? Things that aren't
Mhm.
customer focused or front facing. Okay, great. How
Mhm.
do I hire for this person in this realm, which would be perhaps an assistant? And then, okay,
Mhm.
great. Check. Got that off the plate. Now I've got 10 more hours per week or 15 more hours per week to be able to think more. And then you
Mhm.
just keep chipping away at that until you actually get to the person that will be speaking to the customers on your behalf. If that is like a really big strain still at that point, because if you relinquish, if you kind of lower the amount of bandwidth that it takes for all of the other kind of ancillary stuff, maybe you'll find
Mhm.
that you actually do like talking to your clients. And that's a part of, I mean, just speaking from experience,
Mhm.
Scott, there's a reason I'm on the line with you. I enjoy having these conversations. And even though I
Mhm.
could have Julio just have these conversations, or whoever Julio have these conversations
Mhm.
on my behalf, it's just I enjoy them. So I have, other things that my whole team is taking care of. And now I get to do the piece that is the most enjoyable. So yeah, that's
Mhm.
just kind of my opinion there.
I appreciate that, man. Yeah, thank you.
100%. And so for you then, your motivation for wanting passive income, it just stemmed from, okay, I'm a business owner now, I'm working twice as much, and now I have much more liability or pressure or responsibility on my shoulders. So passive income is just another income stream for you to be able to kind of to lower the amount of reliableness that you have on your actual business. Is that it?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it lowers the stakes for that business since I'm not feeling 100% towards that. And uh, my wife stopped working recently um, because we have two kids now, and we'll just see how all this goes. So we're in like a new stage completely. Yeah, I mean, really, what my plan is. I mean, this is like I've opened a trading business, so this can be part of that investment business, and I can get a lot of stuff written off,
Nice.
and so it will. Yeah, and I'm also involved in day trading. That's something else that I really enjoy, and learning to be good at it and safe with it, smart with it. But so that this allows me to do that as well. Um, but
Having that business structure in place.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, love that. And so, that's one of the things. Like there's probably 10 or so percent of the clients that we have that, involve themselves in trading as well. They know that they can make money with it. It's just like, maybe they'll do some options or they'll do some, things in that field, but they
Mhm.
understand that that's, of course, it's not passive, but also
Right.
um
100%.
yeah, it just allows for them to, have something that they, like a hobby of sorts, to kind of, be able to have a skill set that they can produce money with. So that makes total sense. How is trading going for you right now, on a personal level? Is it producing for you on a month to month basis? Is there kind of like some months it produces, some months there's not anything?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just at the point where I'm starting to trade money, and so it's going well. And I just expect the skill to develop. It's not something that happens overnight for sure. So
Yeah,
I don't really have those expectations. This ATN lets me not be pressured with it
yeah.
and just let it develop. And after it does, then I'll be really like in a good position, I think. But
Very nice. And what
um,
what have you actually tried before and try in terms of attempting to make passive income, or do you actually have any passive
I didn't
income?
have a model for it, I mean, this, and even ATN was like, you have to take some things on. I mean, it's risk, right? It's like, it's just, you're putting without knowing, it's investing, without knowing the outcome. You have to do it without knowing or being guaranteed, the outcome. So it's just, yeah, it's something that you have to do in order to make money, I think.
Yeah, no, I was asking what else have you tried in terms of making passive income, or have there been anything that you've tried?
Yeah, I mean, this is the biggest move that I've made, I would say. And the other thing I'm interested in is like liquidity pools from cryptocurrency, but I'm not sure like how that kind of stuff works out.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, I mean, with those, the only thing that I would, make sure that you're aware of is that with crypto, it's, I mean, completely unregulated, completely decentralized, which you already know those things.
Hmm.
And which if you are not, uh, if you're not like connected with whoever it is that's kind of telling you about a liquidity pool opportunity, those things, I would just be weary and like only, put any capital that you could afford to lose, on
Yeah.
that, which you're a professional investor, you understand how those things go. So but on your end, how did you actually hear about us? Was there like an ad or like a video that stuck out to you?
Yeah, it was Facebook. Yeah. And it was, yeah, I think you just appeared to be able to meet people where they are, and listen to people. So yeah, and you were kind of speaking my language about as far as where some of the struggles that you overcame with it, and it's kind of what I was looking forward to.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, father of two kids, right? Wife wants to, be home with the kids, and ideally you would like to have your wife home with the kids. And so now you take on more responsibility as a business owner. And yeah, it's pretty similar.
Hmm.
And so for you then, how did you feel just before joining ATN? Of course, there is a financial commitment up front. Were you skeptical? Were you nervous? How did that look for you?
Yeah, I mean, I had never wired any amount of money before, so that step was like, okay, hitting the button now.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a little nerve-wracking, and I'm trying to think like who was it? It was Ish, I believe,
Oh,
who I,
ish.
I was in contact with.
Hmm.
Yeah, and he answered all my questions and whatnot. But I guess I would like to know a little bit more about it, but I don't need to know anything proprietary or anything. But
Overall, what foreign exchange is, I mean, it's the world's currency, right? So
mhm,
Canada has a dollar, Australia has a dollar, US dollar, right? Japanese yen.
mhm,
All of those countries have currency. And so all of those currencies every single day have price movements in them or different values associated with them. So you can hear that
mhm,
the dollar has gone up in value or the dollar has gone up or gone down in value. And the same with the euro and everything else, right? And
mhm,
so how it works is you have a pair. So it could be the US dollar and the euro as a pair, and that you're trading.
mhm,
You're basically saying that you believe that the US dollar is going to go up and the euro is going to go down. And so you
mhm,
place your trade accordingly, right?
mhm.
And so that's kind of the overall simplification of it, of the way that it goes. If you're right, if you put your trade in the right position, then of course you'll be profitable. If you put your trade in the wrong position and you feel like it's going to go down when it actually went up,
Mhm.
then you'll lose that trade in a sense, right? And so for us, that our win loss is kind of like 65 to 70%,
Mhm.
in the win ratio. And
Mhm.
so, with that, the reason why we stick with foreign exchange is because it's the largest asset class in the world when it comes to the markets. There's $6.6 trillion per day that's traded in foreign exchange versus like a fraction of that in the stock market, a fraction of that in the commodities pool, a fraction of that in options and different futures and things like that. So all of the asset classes combined don't even make up the volume that foreign exchange actually trade. For your painting business, you could, paint cars and houses and boats and all the others. But like that's not so much concentrated. If you wanted to really niche down
Yeah,
and be like, we're going to pay office buildings and that's it, then you'll
right,
have like more of a defined marketing plan, more of a defined target audience, more of a defined, like just more defined everything. You're specialized, and then people will actually seek you out because they know you're specialized. And then also you're
right,
more talented. You know, kind of, all right, you need this type of equipment, you need this and that, and all those things. So it's easier for you to be able to perform if you're niched down rather than you needing
right,
equipment to service all of those other things, right? So
right.
that's why our trading team focuses specifically on just that one pair, and it ends up being profitable for us.
Cool. Yeah. I mean, it just looks really consistent. when I came in that downturn and I was watching, that was the first video that I saw in there, and the traders were in the room and they were like, we just about got wiped out, or we would have gotten wiped out, if the automation had just been here. And I was like, oh man, what am I doing?
Yeah.
But yeah, so I was asking, I'm still interested because I know it always involves risk. Like how much risk, like how, like when I was trading one strategy before, I knew that there was a 1% tail risk. There was a 1%, on that curve, there was a 1% chance that we could lose 25% of the account. Like, are there any numbers like that?
Yeah, it's just
Or
about a
something that,
2% chance that you can lose about 30% of the account. It's kind of how that math works.
okay.
But yeah, it's we don't the trading team doesn't risk. First of all, they don't risk 100% of the account. Really, it's like it's again, it's like 98% is like not being risked at any given time.
Okay.
So
All
there's
right.
there's the stop loss side, and that's on a per trade basis. That
Mhm.
makes sure that you don't like just like plummet and lose like everything. And then there's the
Yeah.
equity, and then there's the equity protection side of things that like is on the account level. So there's the stop losses, which is on the trade level. That's like kind of like each individual trade. And then there's the
Uh,
equity protection, which is just like overall, because you can get into sometimes tens of trades per day, sometimes hundreds of trades per day. And
mhm.
so, the stop losses are at the trade level, the equity protection is at the account level, and the equity protection is set at 70%. And so like it's just like if anything happens, like we are absolutely stopping if we get to 70% value of all of the accounts. um
Okay.
but
That's
that
really good to know. I appreciate that.
Yeah,
Yeah. All right. Awesome.
100%.
Um,
And so on your
yeah.
end, like, you spoke to Ish, right? So I mean, just starting kind of from the beginning, you saw an ad, right? Something stuck out to it and felt like it was, me speaking your same language. And then you had your call with Ish. You were able to kind of like, kind of get to know what it is that we were doing, or a large gist of exactly how this worked. You felt like it was something that could fit your needs. What ultimately made you decide to join ATN?
Because I felt like, he seemed really knowledgeable, and authentic. I think there's a feeling of authenticity, and that's what I really like value. And so when I hear, I'm not into hard sales. I don't do that in my business, and I'm really sensitive to it. So,
Yeah.
I just didn't get a hard sale when I talked to Ish. He was like, "Yeah, take some time to think about it. I know it's a lot of information, and yeah, I'm here for questions." Like, that's exactly what I wanted to hear. So, and just running through the numbers, it just made sense to me. I knew that there was some meat on the bone for you guys and continues to be, and there's good profit for myself as well. So,
Yeah.
it just seems like a good situation, and I really like hearing about the risk, management part of it, because that's, the it just fills in another, gap in my mind. I guess, like, on the what I like, something that I would have liked to know more about earlier, it would have been that. But I knew that there were, I took some things on faith and trust, and glad I did. But I would have felt more comfortable, I think, in the beginning, less kind of like at
Yeah.
first, like, just knowing that, because I know enough about trading to know that, those things need to be in place. And I knew that they probably were, but I just,
You just didn't
yeah,
know for
anyways,
sure what the terminologies or what the specific settings
specifically.
were and things like that. I
Exactly.
mean, that makes total sense. And I'm glad, again, this is why I do these calls, right? It's to not only be able to get a chance to know you, you get a chance to know me, but then also if there's any loose ends or any questions that maybe like, oh man, like now that I'm looking at you, maybe I could ask you this question that I didn't even know I had, or what have you.
Yeah.
And that's just great for us overall. Communication in any relationship, whether business or personal, is very important. And so that's what I'm here for. And actually, it's so funny as well how similar we are. I have a psychology background, and so that's a big part of
Oh, cool.
yeah, it's a big part of like kind of why I do what I do, is because I'm interested in what people are thinking, how people are thinking.
Yeah.
And it's intriguing to me. And so to be able to kind of, get to know again you and what are you thinking? What are the questions that you would have? It's just better overall as far as a product and delivery of the service that we provide. So speaking of
Business and
delivery,
psychology, they really play off of each other. Well, you're dealing with humans, right? So yeah, it
yeah.
makes sense.
No, and
Yeah.
actually, so my master's degree is in organizational psychology.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, so it's
Cool.
definitely, that business psychology aspect of how do you use, kind of the knowledge of the mind, knowledge of how people think in a business to your advantage. And one of those is through client experience, like customer service, making sure that you, just like in your painting business, you understand what are the needs of the customers, what are the, kind of pain points and all of those things. And then how do you solve for those things? And then make sure that those are communicated in a way that's like, it not only solves it, but they know that resolution is there and accounted for and everything. So
Hmm. Hmm.
it's
That's
helpful.
awesome.
But on your end, how was the setup process? Did you get set up with Julio? Was there another member of the success management team?
It was Julio and then David, I believe. He helped me connect. It was smooth.
Nice.
So
And then
yeah.
how about the ongoing communication? Like, has it been pretty easy and seamless to reach anyone whenever you have any questions or anything that you need?
For sure, yeah. Yeah, Hulu, he's willing to jump on a call whenever and just, to answer any questions and, just provide that level of customer support. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like there's a line of communication open, that seems good.
Yeah. That's probably the biggest thing. So there's two things that we really care about, and they're both the same. It's client experience, right? Overall, it's client experience, but there's the results. That's one, right? And then number two, it's actually like the client, communication and the success management team. That's something that, my kind of first experience when it came to corporate was in customer service. And that's a big thing that I realize. It's like you could have a great product and terrible customer service and your business is okay. You can have a
Hmm.
great customer service and a terrible product and your business is okay. But if you can have both, then that's kind of an ideal area to
Hmm.
be. So I know that I control what I can control, which is the customer service part of it and the client experience part of it that way. And then we just have the best trading teams possible to be able to deliver the results. And to this point, we're really happy with them. And so, what do you feel like in your eyes, maybe makes ATN different than some of the things that you may have looked into in the past, or maybe even done? What do you feel like is like a thing that maybe would separate us?
I think it's completely like I've never heard of anything like this else. I've never seen anything else like it either. It seems like a private endeavor, like something that I'm not even sure how I was able to, access this. Is like nothing that I have seen or, have seen offered. So
Yeah.
do you
Well,
know of any other services like it? Or
no, well, there isn't, right? So we only
I
have
was curious.
competition when it comes to the trading, aspect of like, oh, we will, provide you an algorithm, but you've got to change the settings and you've got to adjust things accordingly, and you've got to watch out for this, WhatsApp or Telegram chat that when we tell you, hey, make sure to adjust this, and if you miss it because you're at your kids, dance recital or something like that, well, too bad, you lost X amount of percentage or whatever. So there's things like that are out there, just algorithm, based trading options. But of course, that's not what we do. That's not how we kind of run our business. It's built off of being able to have manual intervention from professionals as opposed to relying on you to be able to, do the things that someone that has, decades of experience in trading could do. So no, there isn't anything else specifically like how we have built things, and that's why we are unique, and that is also why we have a premier price point. But that is something that we're proud to be kind of like a flagship opportunity in this space for the right type of people, for those that are like-minded, for those that, have certain, kind of experience levels of whether business ownership or high-level employees or what have you. And so those are kind of the things that make us unique and why we, have the type of clients that we do have.
How did you get into this? I mean, like, how did you meet traders? Like, do you have any trading background or,
I have
and
no
how did you
trading
meet this
background.
team of traders?
Yeah, how it worked out was, I joined a mastermind, and that mastermind was about, kind of business ownership, entrepreneurship, but also like kind of, wealth creation and generational wealth. And so some of the people that were in that network were traders. And me introducing myself to them, realizing what they did it for high net worth individuals, people that have $5 million or more. At that time, I definitely did not have that amount of money. But I was able to eventually convince them to be able to trade for me and some of my capital. And then I saw that that was working and it was again automated. That was really exciting. And then I, brought to them like, hey, maybe you could trade for a few more accounts. I was thinking about my friends and my family. They
Right.
agreed to that. And then eventually after it was like such an easy thing to kind of like, help my immediate circle to do and kind of get involved with, I was like, well, I know you do this for the top 1% and even like the top 1% of the top 1%.
Hmm.
Is it something that you guys will be willing to kind of allow for me to have access to a license to be able to provide for people that are more so in the top 10% or 5%, and people that,
Hmm.
make more than six figures, but they still are in the time for money trap. There still are, they have golden handcuffs. They've got, they've traded in a 40-hour a week job for a 100-hour a week, business, like yourself.
Yeah.
So there are people that have needs, and I knew that, especially coming from, I worked for an Amazon automation opportunity back four or so years ago. And I
Hmm.
realized that there's two things. A, there were a ton of people that had this exact same problem, a ton of people, and myself included, right? This is why I ended up burned six figures for automation programs, right? It's because I was trying to find passive income myself. And so I realized there was a ton of people that were in that category. And then I realized it's like people just need something that actually works and can work consistently.
Yeah.
What a novel idea, right? People want
Yeah.
to pay for something that actually works and solves their problem. And so I
Hmm.
just at that point in 2020, during the pandemic, I really was like fixated on how not only could I solve this problem for myself, right? That was the number one thing, right? I'm always a proponent of putting the mask on for yourself.
Sure.
It definitely is very important. Then you can, help as many of the people around you as you possibly can. And so I wanted to figure out the problem for myself. Eventually I did in kind of beginning of 2022. And then, slowly but surely got the ability to present it to other people. And then, here we are today with, about 300 clients, and they're all pretty happy with what's happening. And we don't want to grow to 10,000. We're kind of going to cap
Hmm.
it at between 800 and 1,000 clients. Just so like, again, on your end, Scott, just so you continue to have that personalized feel, and you continue to have the ability to connect with me, or people that are kind of higher ranking in what we do here. So that was kind of the introduction for me in trading. And over the last like 3 years, it's been really exciting, the personal growth and the knowledge that I've gotten as far as how trades go and then things like that. I still don't trade myself. I still don't stare at charts all day. That's not something that I care to
They're
do.
great at what they do.
Yeah, they're great at
Yeah.
what they do, and so I'm pretty good at what I do, which is connecting the dots, presenting an opportunity for people that again are like-minded individuals that kind of fit the right criteria. Of course, you have to have the financial qualifications. You have to have the right motives as well. It's not a get rich quick or an overnight type of a thing. It's more so we compare ourselves to the results that people would get in real estate or the stock market. And if you can compare yourselves to, or if we can compare ourselves to those type of options,
Hmm.
we're 4, 5, 6+ times, the results that they get on an annualized basis. And so that's where
Yeah.
we're really comfortable, and we can help people to expedite their generational wealth journey.
Well, I appreciate you and doing starting this. It's just yeah, it's a really thrilling opportunity for me.
Yeah.
Certainly.
100%. So
Yeah.
just a few more questions, Scott. I appreciate your time. Do you mind actually pulling up your account, sharing your screen? Tell me what you started with, and how did that go for you?
So I put 150 in, and then about a week ago, or so. I put another 75 in, so 225 total. I've gained around 10,000. So 5% in the last, I haven't even been here a month. I mean, it's been like 20 days or something. Oh, it may be around a month actually. I think I got started on like around the 20th of
Okay.
last month. So yeah, coming up on a month.
Okay. Very nice. And so when did you said you added the 75? When was it? How long after was it?
Oh, it was maybe only just a week ago. Oh,
Oh, okay.
maybe
So I had
10 days ago.
okay.
Yeah.
So the kind of 11,000 pretty much, and then the pretty much 2,000 from those are, of course, those are separate accounts. So it's about a total of about 13,000 in profit overall in the
Hmm.
last, last what,
Hmm.
like 3 weeks or so.
Yeah. Yeah. It's the program's paying for itself pretty quickly here, so I'm excited for that.
I love it. I
To
love
get
it.
it. Yeah, yeah, me too. Just really happy with the way things are going. So yeah.
That's what we want. And so how quickly after you kind of got things going, how quickly did you actually start to make passive income?
I mean, it was instantly, even in the first week. Yeah, I saw, I don't remember. Oh, actually, in the first couple weeks, it was like $5,000 or $6,000 in gains. So it jumped up pretty quick, you know. Yeah, for the first 2 weeks, I think, yeah, it was over 5,000 at least. So yeah, after that, I was like, okay, all right, that's good evidence. Let's see some more. And then there was more, and it's just continued from there. So very exciting.
I love that. And so in the last 30 days, your account has generated about $13,000. And so what would that be as a percentage? Do you know if
The
you
trading fees all haven't come out yet, but the
about 8.6% or so, almost 9% in that
yeah,
kind of 3 week period?
yeah, and then with the added value, there might have been a little bit more, but
Yeah,
yeah,
I love it. And I
it's
mean,
great.
that's about what we want, right? I mean, we want to be in between 5 and 10% on a monthly basis. But again, overall, 60+% for the year is what we're looking for. And with compound interest, it really like 5% per month. It should be 60% if it was linear, but it's actually with compound interest, it's almost 80%. And so
Right.
that's kind of one of the biggest benefits there as well. So I mean, on your end, and you can stop share. I appreciate it, Scott.
Okay.
Um, and on your end, compared to some of the other things that you've tried. So I know that you have gotten into trading yourself. Where would you like rank kind of ATN as far as like an opportunity for you to be able to have passive income?
Where would I rank it? I mean, it's my base strategy right now. You know, it's an essential component of what I'm doing that's allowing me to kind of like unravel this knot of just create like insanity, really. I mean, the last few years have been, you know, just with the pandemic and starting a business and, you know, family. It's just been being a contractor in all of that, you know, it's just been insane.
Yeah.
And, you know, so it's taken a toll, yeah, seriously. And, you know, we're just ready to get our life back. So it's an essential component of what we're doing.
I
Yeah.
love it. And after the account was set up, how passive has it been for you after the onboarding phase?
Completely hands off. You know, the only thing that you have to do is check it and just stay in touch with any news. But it's completely hands off.
Love it. And of course, it's only been a few weeks to this point, so we're not, in need of anything from this, at this juncture. But considering the things, progress in the same way that they have been, how likely are you to actually recommend us?
Yeah, I'd 100% recommend this, especially to like friends and family. Yeah, I wanted to give it some time just to, you know, give it the proof of concept, but I'm really happy with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. And whether it's a few months or a year or more, we're happy to have a recommendation, and that's excellent. And why should somebody who's maybe listening right now, we do these because again, it's not only just for your feedback personally, like for me, just to know as a business, but also as our organization, to be able to improve or increase, enhance certain things. But there are people that may be looking at this and saying like, oh wow, I resonate with this. I also have a couple of kids. I also bought a franchise, or kind of went into business during the pandemic, and it's a lot more work than I want it to be, right? Someone may resonate with your stories, but why should somebody who has the right type of financial capabilities actually take action right now?
I mean, this is a great way to put to work at, especially right now when the market is, I'm not sure what's happening in the market exactly, but it seems like weird times, and this is something that is, I didn't want to put this money into the stock market for sure. At this point in time, I knew that I wanted to put it into an investment that would gain steady yields, that would compound, and that I would have access to the money. So I think that it really just met my goals, and it allows me to just have freedom and opportunities that I want right now.
Love it. And so, the last question that I have is, I'm not sure if you did see the email about the upcoming event in September. We do have spots that are left. Are you in a position that you'd be able to perhaps make that?
Yeah, I saw that come up, and it is super intrigued by it. I mean, especially your philosophy of, your network is your net worth. And just yeah, I like you guys. So I would like to make it. I haven't pitched it to my wife yet. We have he's 16 days old now. Our second. So yeah, we're
Wait a
kind of in that
second.
stage.
Wait. What is his birthday?
So he was born on the 29th.
Ace, my son, is born on the 29th. That's
Oh, really?
beautiful. That is crazy. Oh man. He's May 29th. Oh,
That's awesome.
2022. Yeah, that's crazy,
How,
man. I love
how
that.
many do you have? How
Just
many
two.
kids?
So I have a 5-year-old
Yeah.
and then a 2-year-old. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
We have a 4-year-old and then this newbie. So
That is amazing.
yeah.
The gap is, pretty much the same there. Yeah, 3 years and 2 months. Yeah, that's great. Well, congratulations. That's a fresh baby. You're just you're just barely getting any sleep. I already know how
Yeah,
that.
fortunately he's a good sleeper. I don't know.
Oh,
So far so good. But
oh, there.
yeah, my in-laws just left today, so we're just in that mix of, we had the first, like my parents were here, and then my wife's parents, and now we're getting used to things
I
by
love it.
ourselves again. So yeah.
That's exciting, man. These are great
Yeah.
times, and I know that again, there's a lot going on, right? But there's the baby
Yeah.
dog, but I'm glad that you have your family and her family as well to support you, and you guys will do great on the second one. But great. I mean, I appreciate your time, Scott. I definitely am happy that things are going well for you, and this conversation isn't the last time that we'll get connected. If we are able to see each other in Phoenix, that would be great. If not, we probably will connect before then for another feedback call similar to this, and just kind of see the progress. But otherwise, again, I appreciate your time, and I'll see you soon.
Cool. Can I ask that Phoenix, like the trip, like what's the goal? Like what's the emphasis, I guess?
The
Just so
emphasis
I
is to
can,
just come out, have a good time, right? Like you mentioned, you like us, we like our clients. There's a reason why we, kind of accepted, like all of our, representatives are clear on exactly who we're looking for. So if that is, who ends up coming on, then we're gonna want to meet and connect and just have a good time. So we're not, trying to have like a seminar or anything like that. It's just literally to come, have fun, enjoy Phoenix, top golf, casino. Even if you don't get, I don't really gamble. I'm not a gambler, but just like, go out, have some adult entertainment and things like that, and just have a good time with like-minded people. That's what it's for.
cool. All right. Yeah, I appreciate it so much. Yeah.
100%.
Awesome.
All right. Look forward to seeing you soon. And otherwise, enjoy the rest of your day. Have a great weekend. And we'll talk soon.
All right. Thanks, Aaron.
All right. So every 30 days, I talk one-on-one with my clients, and that was their experience. If you want to learn more on how we help our clients earn 60% or more per year, then click the link in the description below.